everybody, Tony D with a quick hot take on the fate of Trump. Little Joan is in the background somewhere. Gave her one of those little greenies to clean her teeth. First up, the guys in InfoWars, who I would call, they're kind of QAnon, or at least QAnon adjacent. Top military official, Special Forces took Nancy Pelosi's laptop during Capitol riot. I don't think that's true, but that's just me. Look, I would love it to be true that, they got Nancy's laptop and they're going to prosecute her and Trump's going to be president. I don't think that's going to happen. I think the people saying that are probably looking to sell you t-shirts and other stuff, books. I think the people who are saying that Trump is still going to be president for a second term, this second term coming up instead of Biden, I think a lot of those people will be changing their tune. Now, there is some good news for Trump. He screwed Biden and China again. And here's how he did it. This, according to Sticks and Hammer, 666, who you should watch. You should watch him on YouTube, BitChute. He's on every other platform. He's great. So he's reporting that Trump normalized trade relations with Taiwan. And that's a big move because I think it's half a step away from recognize them as a legitimate country, which we haven't, normalizing relations completely. So it forces Biden to roll it back, in which case he looks like a stooge of the Chinese, or to ignore it, which will, the move totally pissed off China. Oh, they're mad. They're furious because China wants Taiwan back. They're demanding it back. And they're probably going to get it during, I'm sure Biden's going to just roll over and give it to them. But now it's going to cost them. It's going to cost them big. So good luck with that, Biden. Good luck with that, Biden. That's a middle finger from Trump. And it's hilarious. Unfortunately, a lot of stuff that's going to happen, not so hilarious for Trump supporters. Here's one from Zero Hedge. The failure of Biden to denounce this impeachment is a missed presidential opportunity. Yeah. Biden could say it's too late to impeach Trump. Let's, he doesn't have to condone the violence on Capitol Hill, certainly, but, at least show some grace in winning. He's finally won. So that would make sense. But he ain't going to do it because, man, the people on the left, the leftists, the real hardcore leftists, they're just, they're horrible. So, yeah, here it is here. Washington, one China policy dead as Pompeo lifts restriction on U.S.-Taiwan relations. In other news, and this is all Zero Hedge, Twitter allows hang Mike Pence to trend. I'm not saying that. After banning Trump for inciting violence. That's typical. It's a double standard on Twitter. And speaking of Twitter, I basically left the platform. I kept my account. I purged all my tweets. I don't need rabid leftists hunting me down and screenshotting me. So surprise if you didn't get to do it. So fine. I'm not going to have my tweets thrown back in my face. I didn't say anything bad anyway. So who needs the headache? I'm going to look to get off Twitter. I'm not totally off. I did sell some books there, so maybe I'll post in the writing community once in a while. But my activity on Twitter, I'm purposely scaling back. Partly in solidarity with this censorship. I don't like it. And partly just because it's a cesspool anyway. And I'm getting really sick of fellow writers who are just... they're left of left. These people want socialism because they think they're going to sit at home and write all day and somehow make money and it's going to be great. Oh, I'll finally get to write. Yeah, well, you'll be too busy starving to think of any good ideas. But you just keep thinking that. So just going over some of the headlines in the Daily Mail. Donald Trump Jr. claims free speech is dead after his father Twittered ban. Not totally, but it's getting there. It's definitely on life support. FBI releases wanted poster of 10 MAGA mob riders they're hunting. They did this with Antifa with the statue of Andrew Jackson. So, it's not the same. I mean, the guys who were trying to tear down the statue, that was bad. That was really bad. I mean, that was purposeful, damaging thing. The 10 knuckleheads who went into the Capitol, I don't know if you could call them, rate them at the same level, but, whatever. John Voight calls to rise and look for a better future. Good. Be positive. That's what you got to do. No matter what happens, positivity is your friend. Negativity, not so much. Don't get black-pilled. But don't let your optimism suck you into some of the more elaborate how Trump's still going to win theories. I don't think he's going to win. Look, I could be wrong. I'll be happy to be wrong. I'll totally apologize, but we have to deal with reality right now, and the reality is we're going to lose this thing. The leftists are taking over. They're going to make a bunch of stupid rules, and they're going to piss everybody off. They're going to do a ton of damage, just like Antifa. They're not going to win, but they're going to do a ton of damage along the way. And it's up to us to reform things, get things back on track, and say to everybody, see, we told you. Mitch McConnell sends letter to GOP senators on impeachment procedure summary. Yeah, they're not even going to take it up until the 19th. And the 20th is when Biden's supposed to be sworn in. So what do you think is going to happen? They're not going to impeach Trump. They're going to make a lot of noise that they should have, they could have. Oh, but those darn Republicans prevented us from doing it. We would have done it, but... That's what they always say. What are they going to say when Trump's gone? Yeah. Capitol riot, shooting death of Ashley Babbitt under investigation, U.S. Attorney says. Good. I don't expect a whole lot to come from it. Maybe, there's just no outrage. The kind of people who would be outraged about police shootings, they're suddenly very quiet. Articles of impeachment against Trump to be introduced Monday in House. Well, you can introduce them, but I don't think they're going anywhere. Pelosi, Capitol rioters chose their whiteness over democracy. Ooh, Nancy's getting all woke, everybody. Yeah, I mean, as you can see from if you click on the FBI releases wanted posters, I mean, the first guy on the list is black. Where's his whiteness, Nancy? Oh, right. Whiteness is a different thing. It doesn't mean your race. It's this crazy critical race theory nonsense that some crazy old lady is pushing. Good luck with that. I think people on the left, they go with their feelings. This is Nancy running the country with her feelings. Oh, this is terrible. This is terrible. They were in my office. That's bad. What did they do? You're talking about a public building. They broke in. People broke in, certainly. But, if the Capitol Police let them in, then you got a real problem on your hands. I think the guys who stole stuff or touched stuff, yeah, they're in big trouble. But give it a rest. And this isn't going to help run the country. You have to think about the whole country. Remember when you loved riots, Nancy? Biden, Trump, not above the law. Justice serves the people. It doesn't protect the powerful. Yeah, that's probably one of the most ironic statements from anybody in politics ever. Considering Hunter Biden's laptop and all the evidence that's on there. But hey, Biden keeps saying that, and the people who support him, I guess, believe it. I wouldn't believe any of it. I wouldn't believe anything Biden says. Is he an illegitimate president? Look, the president's cheat in elections. He's as legitimate as anybody else, but is he a good president? Is he a good person? That's the more important thing, and I think the answer is no. He's a terrible person. I mean, he's literally let his son destroy himself, and he doesn't care. He just wants more money and power. Where is his compassion for his own son? I don't say it. I don't say it at all. Trump still poses a danger, House Democrat caucus chair says. Yeah, whatever. I mean, danger to you politically, but that's about it. Chinese state media blast Trump administration for cowardly act of sabotage in Taiwan. Yeah, they're pretty mad. It's pretty funny. Sticks and Hammer 666 has a great video on this. You should totally watch all his videos today. Big fan, and he's got a great take on this, the censorship and everything. So if you haven't subscribed to Sticks and Hammer 666, you should. Get on BitChute and YouTube, whatever. You know, YouTube not so much, but you know he's on every other platform. Rumble too, I believe. According to a bunch of polls, NBC and I think ABC. No, ABC. Majority of Americans want Trump out of office before Inauguration Day. Okay, according to an ABC poll, I guess. But I don't put much stock in that, and who cares? I mean, he's got 10 days. Impeachment trial would take weeks. You remember how long the Mueller investigation and subsequent hearings on Capitol Hill took? I mean, what are you even going to impeach him on? You're going to try and impeach him on the riot? For what? You've got a transcript of everything he said. Your lawyers probably already told you, there's nothing here. What are you going to impeach him on? It's just not going to work. It's not going to happen. And Robert Reich has an op-ed, says Trump attempted a coup. He must be removed while those who aided him pay. Okay, whatever. I mean, this guy's been screaming about Trump forever. Alan Dershowitz, Democrats cannot impeach Trump. Senate won't take up trial, and you can't impeach a private citizen after he leaves office. Yeah, it's over. It's over. It's over, Johnny. It's over. They're not going to do it. They're going to go after him in other ways. You know, Amazon kicks Parler from web hosting services platform to go offline on Monday, but they'll be back. They'll be back with new servers. They'll be slow for a while, and they'll kick back up. So do your worst, lefties. I, for one, will remain unbowed, and so will many of my other fellow compatriots. Now, while we're unbowed, let's not get crazy. Let's just do the things we need to do to get through the next 4 years. And that's rebuilding, okay? We got to look back on the last 4 years and say it was amazing, but there were some mistakes made, and where were they made? Mostly in big tech, mostly by keeping big tech where it is. And maybe we could do something in those areas and pressure Congress. We still have voting power. So, yeah, I know the election was the most secure ever. Honk, honk, wink, wink. And if you don't believe that, well, we could probably do something about it. You know, the Democrats, as much as they're a vicious pack of wackos now, they are prone to pressures from their constituents. So keep the pressures on. Email. I mean, if you haven't emailed, I don't know how long this has been, but you have to look back on your on your tenure the last 4 years. How many times have you emailed your state reps, your state senators, your congressmen, your governor, your senators? Have you emailed them? And then you're partially to blame for this, because in some states these people did damage to Trump. And if you did nothing, if you didn't even speak out and speak up for him, what are you doing? You got to speak up. And this is how you do it. You email. You call politely. Everything's polite. Don't get crazy. I always say, be polite. You know, it's not going to do any good to get threatening. You got to do it. In Just the News has a section called All Things Trump. Sidney Powell is being sued by Dominion Voting Systems for $1.3 billion. That's going to be interesting. I hope she has the evidence she claims she has. I believed it. So, good luck, Sidney. Trump supporters harassed Lindsey Graham at an airport over not objecting to electoral votes, called him a traitor. Well, I think Lindsey Graham, he just goes whichever way the wind blows. So, Pastor Daryl Scott on Trump. I've never seen him have a bad day. Yeah, every time you see him, he just seems like the happiest guy ever and confident as hell. So that you should use Trump as a guide. I've always said that. He's a positive guy, so you got to think positively. Never give up. Never give up. We may be in for some rough months, years, whatever, but you can't let it get you down. It's just no point. There's no point in letting it get you down. Doesn't mean you have to accept everything that's happened or you can't be mad, but I'm saying don't let it make you despair. Okay? Remain positive. We're going to all get through this, and we'll have some fun on the way, even as we all go broke and get taxed to bejeebus.